the one thing we've learned in everything that we do these days is that it's going to take as much money as you're making right now to live in retirement.
And welcome into Financial Focus, brought to you by the best of the best in financial services. 10 straight years and running, as named by the readers of the Lake City Reporter. They are the team from GulfCoast Financial Services. And here with us, as always, providing the insight, the guidance, he is John Kuykendall, founder and CEO of GulfCoast Financial Services. And John, today we're going to talk about that celebration of our hard work and labor. No, not the Labor Day holiday, retirement, right? That's the ultimate celebration, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the big celebration, Peter. We work all this time to retire. And while Labor Day is here, at the end of summer, things are winding down. We're going to make one last trip this weekend to the beach before the big Florida-Miami game. And hopefully Florida can win. But we're really excited about Labor Day and all that it means to the laborers in the United States. But, you know, that we labor so that we can retire. We work all of those years, put aside our money so that we can have that 25 or 30 years of retirement. And if we don't do a good job of it, Peter, then we're not going to have the retirement that we need. Because the one thing we've learned in everything that we do these days is that it's going to take as much money as you're making right now to live in retirement.
Well, we know that it is expensive. We've talked about all of the expenses that go along with retirement. And not only expensive, John, it's in the future and it's very long. So the last several years of retirement are way far off in the future, and we know things get more expensive over time. So it's more expensive even than it is today, and we've got to try to make the money last, and we want to celebrate retirement, remain confident through it. So what are the things that we need to be doing and thinking about during our working years, particularly as we are preparing to make the transition to retirement, that are going to lead to a true celebration of all that hard work?
Well, you know, Peter, we need to be working on that financially focused income plan. We need to figure out how much money we want to have in retirement, and then we need to come up with a roadmap of how we're going to get to that point. And we need to, you know, as we've said on our last show or the show before, we need to maximize our 401ks. We need to look at Roth IRAs. We need to continue to put aside money, save as much as we can, enjoy ourselves here. But at the same time, we've got to put money aside for retirement, because if we don't do it, nobody else is going to do it for us.
Yeah. Bottom line, we need money.
We need money.
Money is going to help make retirement more comfortable and confident. John, during our working career, I mean, we sacrifice for money, right? We put in extra hours. We beg for promotions and raises. We take time away from the family or the things that we actually enjoy, the things that we would rather our time be filled with. They are filled with work. Those hours are filled with work so that we can earn enough money to do what we actually want to do in the little bit of remaining time. And we need to save and invest and grow and build along the way any extra that we can, so that one day when the time comes that we stop making that trade of time for money, which is what we do, that the money is there working hard, replacing our work ethic and effort, right?
That's right, Peter. You know, we've got to be frugal with what we do during our working years. We need, like I said, to put up at least 15% of your salary, and we need to be monitoring our 401ks and watching them grow and being in the market, Peter. You know, it's not that when we time the market, it's how long we're in the market that really counts. That's what's proven. And with dollar cost averaging through 401ks and through our retirement accounts, we'll be able to save money at different levels in the market, and we'll make more money. But, you know, the main thing is we need to have that plan so that we can have a roadmap to get to the end of it. You know, as one of our good friends there, Tom Hagnia, says, there's 3 phases of retirement. the go-go years, which is the first part. We want to be able, while we're still active, to be able to go to the places we want to go, because that's why we're saving the money, is to be able to do things with our spouse and our family. And then there are the slow goes, and then finally the no-goes, where I'm just going to stay home. But when I get to the no-go, Peter, just the normal daily living expenses because of inflation are going to be a lot more than what I needed when I started.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to be frugal in what we do.
And John, planning and preparing ahead for those things can be a little difficult. That's why we need a little extra money. I mean, even if we just continue our analogy here in this discussion of the long Labor Day weekend, that one extra day off work, some extra expenses can come up, right? Some maybe impromptu adventures, some things that we didn't plan and prepare for, and therefore those 3 days could be a little bit more expensive than we anticipated, more expensive than our average weekend.
Well, that's right, Peter. And don't forget that, we've got a lot of medical costs in retirement. Medical cost is going to cost us just as much then as it does now. And so we need our more, and we need to be prepared for it. My wife and I were on a trip this weekend, and we were talking about the fact that weren't we glad that we had GPSs? Because we were trying to get to this place in Jacksonville, Florida, and I didn't exactly know where I'm going. And I was telling her, I said, this is really great. This is the first time we've tried to get over here and not gotten lost. And it's all because of the GPS giving me instructions before I got to the turn, telling me what lane to get into after I made the turn. Those things were all important, and I couldn't have done it. And, being a man, I would have probably wandered around for hours.
Wandered aimlessly.
I'm not
we
lost.
do.
I'm not lost. I just don't know where I am.
We'll find our way back eventually.
Yeah. But because of that roadmap, Peter, it's my GPS. I know when to make the turns. I know when I'm going to sign up for Social Security. I know what I'm going to do for Medicare. I know how much it's going to cost me. Those things are all things that we put into the plan, minimize taxes, do the things we can to make your retirement the best we can for you. But we need that roadmap before you get there.
Yeah, and I've often marveled if my grandfather were alive. He taught me to read maps. We would travel from our house to his house, and across states. And he taught me how you need actually a different map when you get closer by. And then I remember one day when I was in my office and I had pulled out an atlas, and my secretary asked me, "What in the world is that?" And I knew I was old, and
yeah, that's right. But let me ask you a question. Did he teach you how to fold it back after you got it out?
Actually, yes. Yeah. They were usually pretty nice and neat. You never can get it perfect though. Like it's one of those things, once it comes apart the first time, it never goes back exactly right.
Never goes back the same way. And your retirement plan's the same thing. If we don't have that map, and if we can't fold it back and put it together properly the way it's supposed to be, then we've got a mess. And that's what your retirement's going to be if you don't have a GPS roadmap. That financially focused income plan will cover everything you need to know about retirement.
We've talked about, John, that money does certain things for us and we do certain things with it. We pay taxes, we pay bills, we spend it, we save it. Once we do those first three, spend, pay taxes, pay bills, those dollars are gone forever. Only what's left is number four, what we have saved and then invested. And we've got to understand that those dollars can do only a limited number of things for us: grow, safety, liquidity, income, and we need a bit of all of that for the foundation of retirement confidence.
You bet, Peter. Our money's got to grow. Our money cannot not work for us. It has to be actively earning. It has to be, but at the same time, because as we get older, it needs to be safe. But there are investments that we can do that will help us grow, but also be safe. We need to have liquid assets so that for the emergencies, the short-term needs, all of our money doesn't need to be tied up in the market. And lastly, we need to have predictable, sustainable income that's coming in through our own private pension. When back in the old days, we had a pension and that check came in every month. And so, it's kind of like my National Guard check when I used to not have anything and I was running out of money and my wife and I didn't have enough money to go get groceries. The National Guard check would come in for my monthly drill, and then I would be able to sustain myself. And that retirement check's the same thing. We have to have predictable, sustainable income so that we can have the retirement that we want.
And John, kind of circling back to an earlier reference in the conversation, that plan is really what helps us outline how the money, how the dollars, how the investments are going to replace our work ethic and hours, and then generate the income on our behalf from that point forward.
And we have to be smart in how we take that money, because there are different ways to take the money to keep our taxes in check. And so we can't just pull all the money out of our IRA and say, I'm going to spend it now and be taxed on it, because that may not be that's most important, best way to do it. So we have to work and make sure that we've got that plan. So I know how my distributions are going to be, how much taxes I'm going to pay, what tax bracket I'm going to be in. How's my Social Security going to be affected? Those are all things in that financial focused income plan that we put together for you. And it will replace that paycheck, Peter, because, our retirement funds that we set aside are replacing the paycheck that we get every week or every month or every 2 weeks. So we have to make sure that we have it set aside so that we can pay ourselves.
We all strive, John, I think, to maintain comfort through our lives. And unfortunately, in retirement, there are forces outside of our own control that can ultimately impact that comfort and therefore our lifestyles. And what having that financially focused written retirement income plan does, it's kind of like a business plan for retirement. And it assigns each dollar with a specific job, the job that dollar needs to perform for us so that our retirement business operates successfully. So
Yeah.
just investments in the market is not a true plan. And I think you've talked about that, but emphasizing that point, we can have 401ks and IRAs and stocks and bonds and mutual funds, but that does not bring the full business plan for retirement together the way the written financially focused retirement income plan does.
No, what you have with that, Peter, is you have an asset allocation plan. You're looking at how the investments are, but you're not looking at how you're going to be taxed, how Social Security going to function, how is Medicare going to work during retirement, how are we going to put all this so that we can stay in the lowest tax bracket, and how are we going to allocate our funds so that we have different buckets. And we have that main thing is that predictable, sustainable income. I can't draw all my money out of the market every month, because in down markets, I'm going to crash my portfolio. We know that through the sequence of return, as we like to call it, that at some point in time, if I take all of my money out of the market when the market's down, then I'm going to lose, my money's going to go away faster than if I have a more sustainable portion, so that when the market's down, I've got income coming in. I postpone certain things that I'm doing, but I can do them later. And so these are all the things that we look at, Peter, and it's a great way to put together that GPS, that roadmap, so that you'll know what you're going to do in retirement.
GulfCoast Financial Services, they help savers and investors better determine your outcome, ladies and gentlemen, and plan to help you make your goals, your retirement reality. Specifically, they do that through constructing that retirement business plan. The financially focused written retirement income plan helps you to optimize your outcome, to minimize cost, fees, expenses, taxes, and risks, control those better, and to have that confidence in the lifestyle moving forward. So you truly can celebrate all your hard work and labor and enjoy your retirement. If you would like to put together that financially focused written retirement income plan, or just review and evaluate your current situation and the GPS, your progress forward toward your financial future and retirement goals, pick up the phone, give a call, 386-755-9018. That is 386 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018. You can also visit online, GulfCoastFinancial.net, GulfCoastFinancial.net. And John, both your books now in stock, in print there in the office. Quitting is for winners, but retirement's not for wimps, as well as the original Financial Focus.
Yeah, both books are here, Peter. We love to give them out. We want to make sure that everybody gets them that can. Retirement's not for wimps, Peter. It's difficult. It's not as simple as we thought it was going to be. There are a lot of roadblocks. There are a lot of potholes in the road as we're traveling down the retirement road. And so we need to be ready for those so that we can veer off and make a turn and not have a flat tire. And, it's really amazing to me how difficult it is. I thought it was going to be easy, but it's not. And the more we learn about financially focused and the income plan and all the retirement stuff that we know, and the tax laws. We're getting new tax laws, Peter, in January 26th. It's going to affect your retirement. It's going to affect the retirement that you're going to have when you retire. So we need to be ready for that and understand how it's going to affect us in retirement, but also how it's going to affect us even if we're working part-time or working full-time. There's still roadblocks.
Yep. But planning is proactive, seeing those roadblocks, those detours, those traffic jams up ahead, and maybe rerouting or finding the most efficient way through them or around them, ladies and gentlemen. That is what the plan, the financially focused written retirement income plan, going to help you map that route, and then having an ongoing relationship with experienced, trusted advisors like the team at Gulf Coast Financial Services, going to keep you on track heading toward your goals and your destination. Pick up the phone again for that financially focused written retirement income plan or a complimentary review and retirement planning strategy session. 386-755-9018. That is 386-755-9018. 386-755-9018 or online at GulfCoastFinancial.net. GulfCoastFinancial.net. Brought to you by the team from Gulf Coast Financial Services. John Kuykendall, founder and CEO, best of the best in financial services, 10 straight years, concurrent and running, as named by the readers of the Lake City Reporter. Find out why, ladies and gentlemen. Give them a call, 386-755-9018. And John, we always appreciate your time.
Thank you, Peter. It's great to be here. And I'm really glad I got that GPS because I'm not wandering.
Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and tune in for more financial focus by visiting GulfCoastFinancial.net. The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only, without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for a particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature and not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs. Early withdrawals may subject the owner to penalties, fees, or taxes. John Kuykendall is registered with and securities are offered through Kovac Securities Inc., member FINRA SIPC, found online at www.kovacsecurities.com. Advisory services are offered through Gulf Coast Financial Services Inc., a registered investment advisor in Florida. Gulf Coast Financial Services Inc. is not affiliated with Kovac Securities Inc. or Kovac Advisors Inc. Past performance is not indicative of future results. All investing involves risk. Investment decisions should be based on your own goals, time horizon, and tolerance for risk. Due to various factors including changing market conditions and/or applicable laws, the content may no longer be reflective of current opinions or positions.